So you think you have a full 6 months to get ready, but the home that you love only gives you 6 days or even some cases 6 hours. So you need to shift your thinking from I'll buy in 6 months to use that 6 months as a window and start early. Because without a plan, you're gonna end up watching homes that you really like go pending and you're going to get discouraged. So the goal is to prep, to be ready to submit offers when that home that you love jumps on the market. And if you're new to my channel, my name is Meredith. I'm a mortgage broker. I put out educational videos every single week. So if you'd like to support me, hit that subscribe and that like button. Now let's get into it. So you don't start shopping for homes with a champagne taste and a mystery budget. So that first step is really going to get pre-approved. And where you'll apply is you'll either work with like a mortgage broker like myself, a mortgage lender, or a bank. And they're gonna ask you for several documents up front. They're gonna want to look at your last 30 days of pay stubs. They're gonna ask for your 2 years of tax returns and or W-2. They're also going to look at the last 2 months of your bank statements. Then they're going to run your credit. They're either going to do a soft pull or a hard pull on you up front. And the minimum credit score that's required is a 620. Then at the end of this, they're going to give you a pre-approval letter that outlines how much is your buying power and also estimated monthly payment. So the seller has a shark that's negotiating for them. Now you need to decide who's going to be negotiating for you. And this is where you'll want to hire what's called a buyer's agent for yourself. Now the cost for this, in most cases, the seller is going to cover your agent's commission, so it's not out of pocket, but this is not always the case. So expect to sign up front before you even start looking at houses with that realtor, what's called a buyer's broker agreement. And that agreement outlines exactly how much commission that they are going to be charging, and it outlines everything that you can expect to them. Now, it's important that you read front to back what you're signing, because I had a client that reached out to me from YouTube. We looked over this buyer's broker agreement, and there was a lot of added stuff that she was not even aware that she was going to get charged. So make sure that you read this thoroughly. So if you don't choose what your non-negotiables are, the market is going to decide for you. So up front, you want to research neighborhoods. You want to look at different school districts and look at the overall growth of that neighborhood and area. Also, start visiting open houses, even if it's not the actual house that you want, if it's in the neighborhood, to kind of get a feel of everything. And create a needs and wants list and share that with the realtor that you're working with, and just be super clear in your communication. So the home that you want is not going to end up waiting for you, and you will find that out quickly during this home shopping phase. Now the realtor is going to be there. They're going to be the ones to actually schedule the showings to get you inside to see the properties. And also, before you make an offer, they're going to look at different comps in the area to make sure that home is priced correctly. They're also going to help you structure the offer up front as well. So hesitating one night is how you end up waking up to hearing we've accepted another offer. So during negotiations, you want to act quickly. You don't want to think about it too long, because that's when you'll end up losing the home, especially if it's a multiple offer scenario. Now, during this time when you submit an offer, you want to make sure you work with both your lender and your realtor, because they will help structure in a way that's going to give you the best outcome with seller credits, with different types of buy downs, things like that. And the seller can respond to your offer in one of 3 ways. They can, 1, accept it, 2, just flat out deny it, or 3, counter it, and then you can decide how you want to go from there. So once the seller accepts your offer, then you go into what's called your inspection period. And this gives you a window of time to uncover any hidden problems before they become your expensive problems. So what you will do first is you'll do a general home inspection, which can cost anywhere between $400 to $450. Now they will give you pretty much a detailed report card of the home's condition. Then from there, if you need to order any specialized inspections like sewer line, roof, engineering report, things like that, based on the original home inspection, then you will do that for an additional fee. And also, once you're done with the home inspection, at that time, that's when you'll start shopping for home insurance quotes as well. Now, if you skip this step, you're basically volunteering to pay for the seller's deferred maintenance. So when it comes to negotiating repairs, you want to prioritize items that either don't work or affect the safety of the home. Now, the seller has different options. They can either accept or deny your repair request, or they can give you a seller credit, which is basically giving you money to cover your closing costs to offset those repair costs. Now, if there's no resolution, then at this time, look at your contract. Per the contract, this gives you an out and you can walk away from the home. Now, during this process, you're going to go through underwriting and receive a loan approval. And what the underwriters are there to do is just to verify your financial entire picture. And and also to make sure that your loan fits all the guidelines. Now, they will ask you for what's called conditions, which just means that they looked over your file and they just need updated documentation, and that's what you need in order to get your file to the closing table. Now, during this process, speed matters, and in order to make things go smoothly, you want to make sure that you give your documents within 24 hours so that you can keep the file moving. Now, the bank doesn't care about how much you love the home, they really care about how much that home is worth, which is why they're going to order an appraisal throughout the process to verify and confirm how much that home is worth. Now, there's really 3 outcomes to this. Either number 1, the appraisal amount can come in the same amount as what you're buying it for, which is great. It could come in a little bit higher than how much you're buying it for, which is great as well. Nothing changes at that point. But if the appraised value comes in lower than the contract price, that's when you have issues and you have to go renegotiate with the seller, because the bank is only going to lend on the appraised value. Now, also, the appraiser is also there to look at the condition of the home, and if there's any major safety issues, then the appraiser is going to call it out and the seller must make those repairs before you close on the home. Now, this is going to be your final chance to catch any problems before the home becomes officially yours. So the final walkthrough, it's usually done either a day before or even the day of the closing. And especially if you've asked for any repairs to be done, this is going to be the time to confirm that it was done correctly. And the lender will issue what's called an official clear to close from Underwriting, and they're going to give you what's called a closing disclosure about 3 days before your closing date, and that will confirm the amount that you need to bring to the closing table, all the details of your loan. Now, this is the day your signature is worth thousands of dollars, so make sure you read and understand before you sign. So you want to review your closing disclosure, any loan documents with your lender before to make sure there's no mistakes, and also so that you understand what you're signing. Then 2, you're going to wire any of your cash to close, your down payment, your closing costs to the actual title company the day before closing. And then at the actual title company, that's when you're going to sign all of your closing documents, and then the house will be officially yours. So your first payment hits a lot later than what you think, but skipping it can kill your credit score. So your first payment, you usually get to skip a calendar month before it's due. So if you've closed, let's say in November, you get to skip December payment, and your first payment isn't due until January, and you have anywhere between the 1st through the 14th for you to make that mortgage payment. Now, you want to use that gap wisely, start building up your savings, and also you never want to miss a mortgage payment, because that will kill your credit score and also could deny you for doing a refinance or buying another house later on. And if you're planning to buy a house in 2025 or 2026 and want my help, click on the link in the description, schedule a call, and I'll be in touch.